Welcome to the Lotus Goddess Divine Love. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome back everyone, and welcome if you're new to my channel. I do Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Twin Flame Journey Charm readings. Let's begin, and just keep in mind that this is a general reading. See what message comes through. Pride is getting in the way for this masculine. Masculine is delaying some sort of movement into a new beginning. There's some kind of imbalances here. The pride is getting in the way of coming towards divine feminine. Divine feminine, in this reading, you're ready. This divine feminine is ready for reunion. It's like you're just looking at the door and you're like, I know my masculine's walking through that door soon. This divine feminine just expects it. They sense it. There's this inner knowing. This is a divine feminine who has become a queen, meaning that you've grown a lot, you've evolved a lot emotionally, spiritually, and this divine feminine, you are expecting big things up ahead. You have this inner knowing that this divine masculine is returning home. And I feel like you glance over at the door once in a while and you're like, one day I know my masculine's walking through that door. This divine feminine is completely ready. They sense that there is some kind of return coming soon. But this divine masculine, their pride is causing delays. I see her being stuck with their thoughts. There's supposed to be movement, but there is a like standstill. I see halt. There's no preparation. Like if this masculine lives at a distance, they're supposed to prepare before they leave, or before the journey towards you. But there's no preparation here. It's kind of like they've put something off, they've postponed something, they are procrastinating, something like that. But I see here no spending, no planning, no taking action. There's no preparation. Like, say, if they have to buy a ticket, if they have to book a ticket, if they have to book a flight, whatever it may be, they have postponed, they have delayed, they have stopped, because their pride is in the way here. Where is this pride coming from? I feel like, because pride is standing out very strongly here in this reading, where this masculine is, he is quite stubborn. Whose masculine is this? Your masculine is quite stubborn, and you probably know it. Because I don't think it's something that just happened. This is somebody who I feel has been like this for a very long time. It's part of, I feel like, what they think is part of them. Like, this is me. This is who I am. That kind of thing. And that is also pride, right? This is who I am. Okay, so I'm prideful, so what? That is also pride, right? So why isn't there a release here? I see here there is a delay in releasing emotions that are keeping this masculine stagnant, because they are aware of the intensity of the release. They're trying to avoid any kind of release of the old, release of the baggage, release of behaviors, beliefs, that kind of thing. Things that they are used to. Again, it comes back to that stubbornness. No, I refuse to let go of this idea. I refuse to let go of this behavior. I refuse to let go of what I believe in, because this is me. See, back to the pride. So these two are connected. There's this stubbornness and this pride. That's why I'm like, whose masculine is this? I'm sure this is not one of the things that made you fall in love with your masculine. This is something that's quite annoying, I feel, because I see divine feminine in this reading. When it comes to this pride, you're you are tired of it. This is something that has been very draining, and some of you, it made you very emotional because of this pride and because of the stubbornness. You may have experienced certain situations in the past where the pride or the stubbornness got in the way of certain things that made you feel very heavy, that made you feel drained, that made you get emotional. You may have cried tears because they were very stubborn about something or because of their prideful behavior. Masculine, there's a lot of things that are deeply rooted within, based on things that they've decided for themselves and based on things that are connected to family decisions. I see here. Deeply rooted within that is connected to family decisions. This family decisions, I feel like not a specific decision, but it's more of like maybe ongoing, like a tradition or something about beliefs that has carried on, that has been deeply rooted or ingrained, that kind of thing. Like it's part, has become part of this divine masculine. That's why, again, coming back to the pride, coming back to the stubbornness, this is part of me, this is who I am, kind of thing. Because they have been in that, consumed by that in some sort of way, or part of that. It was something that was natural to them. So for them, it just, it's kind of like, for them it's like natural for me to feel this way because it's always been there. It's what I know. So that's what I see here for this divine masculine, and I see this heaviness in the past connected to divine feminine and divine masculine because of the pride and the stubbornness that this masculine was, I feel like, getting divine feminine involved in something that made this feminine feel feel the heaviness of this pride or this belief that this masculine shared or experienced, that kind of like pulled, like they pulled you in on into some kind of situation that made you feel like this doesn't feel good. It's like their stubbornness, their pride is getting in the way of what we should be experiencing. Like, say if something was meant to be a happy event, right? You two are celebrating some kind of joyful event together in the past. And because of certain things that this masculine was prideful about or stubborn about, it it took away from that moment, that celebration that you two were supposed to share together. So that's what I mean by pulling you in into situations that shouldn't have really played out that way, but it was because of the things that was deeply rooted within divine masculine, that has connection to pride and stubbornness that they have. This led to a lot of confusion about what you two were experiencing in your relationship. You felt very lost in your connection with divine masculine here because of their reaction or because of the way that they would, I feel like, take the situation or handle the situation, whatever it is. There was always some kind of heaviness because of the miscommunication or misunderstanding between you two. Doesn't matter how much divine feminine you try to start something new. Let's start on a new note. It's a new day. Let's enjoy the day together. It didn't matter how much you tried divine feminine. It always got back to that stubbornness, that thing that was deeply rooted within masculine. I see here you tried to start new. It's a new day. It's a new morning. Good morning, divine masculine. Let's celebrate the day together. and there was always something there. Again, divine feminine felt drained, kind of like you didn't know what to expect the next day. You felt like you loved this person, but at the same time, you're like, will we ever have this happy moment together? Will we ever enjoy life together? Because you had a lot of dreams, a lot of love for this divine masculine, and it's like, why can't we just be happy? Why can't we just enjoy life? Why can't we just, you know, have that conversation, have a good conversation, or, you know, have a nice dinner, have a nice walk? Because I see here that you always expected the unexpected when it came to your relationship with masculine here in the past. You felt very confused. You tried to start something new. It's like always starting on a good note, but it always went back to that same thing, the same pattern, because this was something that was rooted within your masculine. And I feel like you kind of knew, but you didn't really know. So what I'm getting is that you were a little bit lost in that connection with divine masculine, but at the same time you knew there was something else there, but you couldn't really figure out at that time. Now you have more clarity because you are balanced. You are more balanced now. You're very wise here. You've stepped into the new energy. You stepped into the new. You see with more clarity. You have evolved a lot, divine feminine. But then when you were with divine masculine, then in the past, there was not much of like, I mean, you were going with the flow kind of thing, but then you're like, what's going on here? It's like, how come every time I'm trying to make something work or make something new, like to bring some kind of new energy into the mix, why does it keep going back to the old? It was because this masculine was something about energetically consumed in a pattern that was not easy for them to release. It didn't matter how beautiful the day started. It didn't matter how beautiful you made it, divine feminine. Masculine was stuck in that cycle. I see here divine feminine. Sometimes when you think about the past, so this reading is a little bit different, whoever this resonates for. Looks like there was something like this pattern looked very confusing here. So I'll get back to what I see here. So some of these divine feminines here, currently some of you are a little bit not sure about divine masculine here because of the separation. You feel like, is there something that can grow from this? Is there something that can change? And you have faith that your love will make the connection stronger, that divine masculine will eventually transform into who they're meant to be. But then I see here, because you don't really know what this masculine is feeling at this time, there is something about, maybe it's time for me to just release the expectation or release the idea of masculine actually getting it. This is something that is tough for you to feel or hear or think about or acknowledge, but I see here intuitively you feel like this is something that you need to do because it will give you strength. I see here intuitively you know that by acknowledging there is a possibility of divine masculine not quite getting it, it's tough for you to hear or to say to yourself, but you feel that by accepting it, that that is a possibility, it gives you some sort of strength here. Why? I feel it has to do with, this feels so complicated, but I feel like whoever is following me in this reading, I know it might not resonate for all of you. Whoever is following in this reading, it is a little bit different here. Like this divine feminine, you're thinking about your masculine as maybe this masculine, there's a possibility that they won't get it. They may never get it. They may not come to a realization that their pride, the stubbornness is in the way. And when you accept it, whoever this divine feminine is, when they accept it, that there's a possibility that this masculine may never figure it out, this gives this divine feminine some form of strength. I see here intuitively using their intuition and seeing it from a different angle, that there's a possibility and there's no expectation, not expecting anything in return from this divine masculine or expecting anything to come out of this relationship with divine masculine. That this might be it. Why does this give divine feminine strength? I'll continue. I'll explain that. Something about recognizing that the decision of recognizing that you've accepted that masculine may not figure it out, that masculine may not figure out that their pride and their stubbornness is getting in the way. You are recognizing that the bond is still there. This is a divine feminine. It's like, even though this divine masculine may not figure it out in this lifetime, the connection of the divine connection between me, divine feminine, and the divine masculine themselves, the bond is still there. It still exists. May not be in the 3D, because logically this masculine is not aware, or logically they're not accepting that these two things may be coming in the way of their connection with divine feminine. Unconsciously they're not aware of it. Consciously they're not aware of it, but unconsciously there is this connection between you two. There's something about divine feminine, your bond with divine masculine goes beyond the 3D, right? And you accepting that this divine masculine may not figure it out because their pride and their pride and the stubbornness may get in the way. It will transform you, because you are releasing that to the divine, you see. So let me give another example. Say I'll speak as if it's the divine feminine saying it, okay? Because I'll say what I read here. So this divine feminine is like, okay, so divine masculine, you're stubborn. You have this pride within you. I don't know if you'll ever figure it out, but you know what? It's time for me to release you. It's time for me to let go of you, because I don't know if you'll ever figure it out. There's a possibility you might never figure it out. So in that moment, this divine feminine, when they release, they come into a strength where they step into this realization that this connection is always there, right? Which we know. We know that it's always there. But because they have released it to the divine, they have transformed themselves. There's some sort of transformation here that shows that the bond is much stronger than they realize. So does this mean that this divine masculine doesn't figure it out? I see here that there's a possibility that this masculine will figure it out, but this has to do with something about divine feminine here. This is going to push divine feminine into a newfound strength, transforming divine feminine to a next level. This inner knowing, this inner knowledge follows when this divine feminine releases divine masculine thinking. So you release divine masculine thinking that maybe they will never change. Let me let them go. It's when this divine feminine lets them go, it's then when they transform into a stronger version of themselves. This letting go, or I wouldn't call it giving up, it's just like accepting it. Accepting divine masculine, the situation for what it is, releasing it to the divine. When this divine feminine lets it go, even though they don't understand what's going on, let it go. And then I see here that they step into a newfound strength, a new version of themselves. They may have thought they transformed, they may have thought they have evolved, really spiritually grown, but I see here leveling up, transforming into another version of themselves, recognizing that the connection is much more than they thought. This is something I feel even divine feminine will not know how to express. There's some newfound knowledge that will help this divine feminine see divine masculine in a different light. That stubbornness, the pride that you once noticed in your divine masculine will look very tiny to what you start to see within your divine masculine. This pride and this stubbornness will be transformed once this divine feminine has stepped into a new. So this transformation starts with divine feminine here. And I feel like this is not your first transformation. This is something that is unexpected. This is something that's going to level you up. I see here taking you to a new place where you have obtained greater knowledge and information about your connection, which will energetically shift your divine masculine into a new form, releasing pride and releasing stubbornness, releasing anything that is of low vibration that's connected to the old. So whatever they were stuck in, they will release it once divine feminine has transformed. So this is a second transformation that this divine feminine is going through. This is a very unique reading. I don't know for whoever this is for. This is something different. So this is the reading for today. I hope you like this reading. If this reading resonated with you, please leave a comment below. I know it's not going to resonate with everyone. This is something quite different. And if you like my readings, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all of you. And thank you all for watching. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye.